friends, my name is Shayla and today I'm here to talk to you about some of my favorite things from the month of February. So in the month of February, I want to talk to you about one anime, two mangas, two manga related things, and then one book. So this is going to be a shorter one than my previous one, but I still wanted to talk to you guys about some of my favorites. Now, I did read a ton in the month of February. Actually, I'm going to talk about two different bookish things. So, anyways. But yes, I read a lot more than I typically would, and I will never ever do that again, as I stated in my previous video. If you're interested in specifics of what I read, I will leave both wrap-ups down below. But first off, let's talk about the anime that I wanted to talk about this month, and that is Kaguya-sama Love is War. Now, this is a anime series based on a 4-panel style manga in which we are following the president and vice president at a school, a boy and girl, as you would say, who have attraction for each other. But neither of them wants to admit it because they're stubborn and prideful, and it becomes this series of shenanigans, and the other student council members end up playing really funny roles in all of this. So it is seriously a hilarious good time. The opening and ender are super catchy. I absolutely love them. And the animation's beautiful. Everything about it is just amazing. Episode 7 in particular had me and my husband in stitches laughing so hard. So this is one that is definitely, if you're in a bad mood, go and watch it and you'll definitely feel better because it's hilarious, it's funny. We have really been enjoying Kaguya-sama this season. It's got 8 episodes out at the moment. And yes, I highly, highly, highly recommend checking out Kaguya-sama Love is War. This is one of our favorites from this current releasing season. So yes, definitely check this one out. All right, so let's talk about the manga related things. So first up, I want to mention a thank you to everyone who participated in the 24-hour Manga Love Readathon. We all ended up reading some amazing stuff during it. It was such a good time to do this with all of you. I definitely have readathon plans coming up in the future, so definitely look forward to that. But the first manga related thing I wanted to talk about is the readathon. Thank you. It was all so much fun, and I loved seeing everybody's wrap-ups and TBRs and everybody posting all day long. It was just a really good time. So it was definitely one of my favorite things. The other thing I wanted to talk to you guys about was the manga called Perfect World. Now, this is a manga that involves a man who was in an accident in college who ends up with a spinal injury, and so he, after a period of time, ends up running into this girl he knew in high school, and she happened to always have a crush on him. She's a little startled when she finds out he's in a wheelchair, but she ends up wanting to get to know him as an adult man and to know everything about him and his accident and everything, and things begin to roll from there. This series does not pull its punches. This is a gut-wrenching series. It definitely is very realistic in its depiction of how people with disabilities would react in situations. You see successful relationships, you see unsuccessful relationships, you see all of the spectrum of this, as well as just kind of day-to-day life for someone with these kinds of injuries. So I highly and strongly suggest people check out this series. It is a digital release only at the moment, and the more support this manga gets, the more likely we are to get a physical publish for this series. I cannot tell you how important it is that, especially here in the US, that we get this. It is so, it's so hard for me to describe because it's so important and so powerful. I really, really hope everybody takes some time to get to know this series and at least try it. It is definitely a new favorite of mine, and believe me, if they ever decide to physically publish this in the US, it will be on my shelves. That's how much I love and adore this series. So now let's move on to books. So in books, this is not going to surprise anybody who's watched my wrap-ups. There is a particular series that I ended up binging in the month of February, and I'm a little embarrassed that I love it so much, but I don't care. I'm going to tell you guys about it anyway. It is it's a series by Leora Gonzalez. Warriors of Something series. I will put it right here, obviously. But anyways, this is a 5-book alien smut series. Yes, you heard that right, alien smut. No, there are not extra appendages. These are very Star Trek humanoid kind of aliens. You know, no extra genitalia or anything, nothing like that. These are basically abnormally tall, broad, male humans, in a sense. You know, and obviously they have some alien-y powers, but yes, so nothing's weird about that, but the writing in this series is fantastic. This is a self-published series. If you like smut at all, I definitely recommend checking them out because, man, it's a good time. It does fall into some really kind of problematic tropes at times, but I'm a trash can and I don't care. So here we are talking about aliens and alien smut. So essentially how the series starts is their race continue to not breed females. And so they resorted to cloning to keep their race going. But more and more the clones are beginning to be problematic as well. So what they do is they come to Earth basically to form this bridal pact so that women can volunteer to become mates to these alien men. So it is definitely interesting. These guys are definitely alpha male, so if that bothers you, definitely put a pass on this series. But these women are also very strong, and they don't let the men just push them around, so do know that if you're going into this. So these women are not just going to be trampled all over, I promise. So yes, anyways, Alien Smut, good times. Definitely check out this amazing series. The other book I want to talk about is a 5-star small town romance book, and that is Springtime at Hope Cottage. This actually comes out on March 5th. I did get an early copy, and I ended up adoring this. This is the perfect small town romance to me. None of the sexual encounters are overly graphic, so it's more widely accessible to people, but we're dealing with two people who we briefly saw and got to know in the previous novel in the series. So the woman, Josie, is an editor in New York. She's kind of high-strung, overworking herself, ends up coming down to Sweetwater Springs to visit her friend who owns a B&B, and that is kind of the stuff of the previous novel. Anyways, her friend can't come to pick her up at the airport 45 minutes away because she's running her in. So she sends her fiance's friend, who is a physical therapist, to go and pick her up. His name's Tuck. And so they immediately have this adorable meet cute. At least I found it adorable. He comes up and like taps her on the shoulder from behind, and she like freaks out. She's got like pepper spray in her hands, like ready to spray him in the eyes. And anyways, it's just funny. I really enjoyed the meet cute in this particular story. But anyways, as she's staying at the inn, she ends up injuring her, I forget if it's her ankle or her knee, one of the two. She ends up having to do physical therapy with Tuck. Things go from there. I'm not going to tell you anymore, other than this does involve a trope with a child or early teen involved in the story to kind of help see and gain trust, and that happens a lot in romance novels, but it happens to be a trope I absolutely love. So it definitely doesn't bother me. Nothing's overdone in this story to me. I really enjoyed it. It like I say, to me this is the perfect small town romance. So definitely go and check out Springtime at Hope Cottage when it comes out. So friends, those were some of my favorite things in the month of February. Let me know in the comments down below what some of your favorite geeky things from the month of February were, and I will see you guys in the next one.